Welcome to another episode of Small But Significant.
Your turn. Where every week my beloved husband Derek Humphrey, and I, his wife Jess,
Van Scoy,
do the 5-finger debrief. And then Billy ruins it by just going in and out of the shot or crying. She's going to have a lot of crying during this episode.
I love you, Billy, but you are in the way.
Oof. Boy, have we forgotten our past history already.
So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me for another episode.
You're welcome, but honestly, I got a lot done today. I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
But we'll talk about it. Today's going to be a pretty vulnerable episode for Mama Joms over here.
It's going to be a pretty brief one for me. So.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, we're on a time crunch today.
Sure. So every week we do the 5-finger debrief where we go through our week. Thumbs up, best thing that happened that week. 4-finger, something we learned. Middle finger, something shitty that week. Ring finger, a promise to ourselves. And then a pinky, which is our namesake, something small but significant. Do you have one that you want to start with, babe?
Let's start with thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yeah. Always start with the positive. I like that.
Sure. What was the thumbs up for you?
Probably today, where I can, I feel like this weekend, I have 2 3-day weekends in a row. And it makes me feel like maybe I can get through all of the work that I have crashing down upon me.
For sure. You are by day an educator, and then by night working on your PhD.
Correct.
And so finding time to do this and other things is very difficult. Yeah. And you got a lot done today.
Yeah. I just, if I were a teacher without integrity, I think my job would be a lot easier. But
I've heard.
But unfortunately, I'm born with this blue collar idea of what I should know and what I should be as a teacher and what I should do. And while I think some students appreciate it, most don't. And
it's true.
Nobody really does except for me and you.
I'm sure appreciate what you do for sure. Because I, as a former not good student myself, can tell you that some of your kids do not appreciate it, and they will come to regret it.
I hope so.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love a good little quick email hey, Miss V, sorry I was such an idiot shithead.
It never occurred to me that I should email some of my old teachers.
I think you should.
And that would take an entire day.
Yeah, it probably would.
It would. In fact, you know what?
Have ChatGPT write it. Then they'll be like, he hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah. No, because the change would be that I did something at all.
That's true.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? I found my old grade school principal on Facebook, and he's friends with everybody from our grade school. Except me. I friended him. I think it's the second time I friended him, and he has not accepted it. And it's just weird. It's weird when hey man, this was literally 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean 35 years ago to 40 years ago is when you knew me. If I am reaching out to you as an adult, it's more than likely because I've established some growth. It's amazing, the amount of people who have not. I mean, some people I kind of get why they haven't accepted me as a friend on Facebook, because their idea of me or who they knew from me as a kid or a teenager was unpleasant, and there's no way I can convey to them that, hey, I've done the most growth probably out of anybody that you know. And it's crazy because a girl that I went to school with through junior high and high school, and I had a big crush on her when we were kids. She came, and it was weird. I was a weird kid, and she came to my show in Toledo, would not accept my friend request on Facebook. We hung out. I gave her a free shirt because I felt bad about being such a disastrous weirdo teenager.
Did you say that?
Not explicitly. It was almost I felt kind of understated or understood, but I guess not. And so, anyways, but yeah, I don't want to belabor the point about how weird I am. I should hit up some of my teachers because I made some of my teachers' lives, a living hell.
Yeah.
So
I mean, teachers are human too, and if this is news to you, then I mean, like, I'm sure there are some kids that have friended me on Facebook, and I was like, absolutely the fuck not, never, like,
Sure.
fuck off forever.
Yeah.
And then there's also kids that friend me, and I'm like, who is this person? And I clearly taught them, and I have no recollection of them whatsoever, which
Yeah.
is super weird because you spend a whole year with a kid, you like know their skills, and you're
but your memory isn't always the best.
I have a horrible memory,
regardless.
but like to not even like recognize them and be like,
Well-
oh yeah, I faintly recall a person named blank.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's what happens to me though too. Sometimes like somebody will friend me from South Toledo,
Right.
and I'll like look at them and I'll be like, I don't know who you are, and they're
Yeah.
like, man, they'll like write or comment and be like, it's so great to see you doing this or whatever, and I'm
Yeah.
like, cool, like I couldn't
Thank you.
remember you,
Yeah.
and then other kids have been cool. And like one guy reached out to me. He used to really bully the shit out of me when we were kids, and
Yeah.
he apologized. And like, I was like, hey, well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot in common. His mom was like my den mom for Cub Scouts, and like his dad was one of my baseball coaches, I think, when I was a real little kid. And we both know the same people who've gone to jail for murder. So it's like we have a lot in common. We should
Yeah.
be pals. But anyways, so you have been working very diligently. You work really hard at it. You work harder, in my opinion, than some of your peers.
Definitely.
So I appreciate that, and I'm glad that your positive for the week was that you did good at working more in your free time.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, listen, it's because everything happens, like something new always gets added to my plate every year. And so because I want to be very good at it, then I put the time and effort that it takes to be very good at it. And
Yeah.
because I'm teaching high school level, AP level history, I can't just, like I envy grade school teachers. Like I feel like they can just wake up that day and be like, we're going to count fish.
We know one.
We're gonna
We
count
have one
fish
living in
today.
our building, and we know what kind of routine and exercise they keep. And I can tell you, and it's infuriating. Like
Yeah.
that gets to be sometimes the Republican part of me.
Yeah.
Where I see this person who makes probably close to as much money as you make.
Yeah.
And you're like getting home at 4 to do more work to grade, and they are at the bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I pass them by at the bar.
Well,
So
it's the same thing with gym teachers. Like as soon as they go home, they don't have to grade. They don't have to do anything.
They got to think of exercises.
Yeah. Woof. What else do they do on their 3 other hours of prep time at work? It's like, that's infuriating to me because they definitely get paid the same that I do.
Lift. They
And
lift.
do not have to use their brains at all. So
I would love to see you teach gym.
I think I could.
I'd love to see you just get wailed on with dodgeballs.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't play.
I would still throw them at you.
I know
if
you
I were a
would.
kid.
I think you'd make a great gym teacher, babe.
Yeah, might have to one of these days. My thumbs up is I went to see my favorite band in concert.
I love that for you, by the way.
Thank you.
And I'm glad it was a good time.
You know what? It really put me. It was a great time. I went by myself, which I ended up enjoying. I was supposed to go with somebody else, but they ended up getting booked to do a tour. Fine. But I ended up enjoying it a lot by myself.
I told you.
And I had I saw Queens of the Stone Age at the Beacon Theater. I'd never been to the Beacon Theater. I'd never seen the Queens of the Stone Age live. And there was a guy I knew who went. I had met him earlier in the week, and he was like, they're my favorite band. I've seen them a dozen times. How come you haven't seen them? And I'm like, one, you're 50-something years old. Why are you doing the juvenile? Why
Right.
haven't you seen this band trope? And then also, too, is because, man, like for the last dozen years, I've been really working hard at comedy and prioritizing comedy in my life as a career. And, I'm finally at the stage where I feel comfortable missing a weekend if I can go to somebody's wedding.
Yeah.
You know, I missed one of my cousin's weddings. I missed one of my friends' weddings, which was fine because they got divorced. But like, I've missed a lot of stuff. I missed a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
Usually the only concerts I go to have been on like Monday or Tuesday night or something like that. So it was really cool. What really dawned on me too, on top of it, was it was almost a year. It was about a year, basically a year after I found out I was going to lose my job. And to think like a year later, I'm at Queens of the Stone Age. I don't have that job anymore. I don't have any job outside of comedy and acting.
Yeah.
And I got recognized at the show.
That's cool.
I was walking down to the restroom, the Beacon Theater. Beacon Theater, I've never been. It's beautiful, small venue.
Yeah.
And I got recognized by somebody walking up and like, hey, you had a really great show. You're a funny dude or whatever. I'm like, oh, thanks so much. And here I am at my favorite band. They're doing a different kind of rearrangement of their music. Mm-hmm. And that they didn't have like this like, huge traditional rock setup. It was like different instrumentation of their best songs or their favorite songs or whatever. And here I am. My only job is comedy. I'm getting recognized at my favorite band's concert. Like it was a really high for me, and I didn't like take it for granted or anything like that. And it was great. So, so it was really, really pretty cool.
You've come a long way, baby.
I have still got a long way to go. I'll tell you that. But yeah, it was great. So that was my thumbs up. It was a great show too. The guy who's like the front man for the band, it's really him. Like I don't, like I always felt like the Beatles were the sum of their parts sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But this guy who fronts this band, he is like the main guy, the main musician, the main composer of stuff or whatever.
Wow. And
he was really into crooning out his hits that night, so it was great. So, at certain points in time, because like, to break the fourth wall, I was still just like the week of, I'm like, I should sell these tickets.
Right.
Because I could make so much money on the secondary market. It was sold out, Beacon Theater.
Right.
And I was like, I should make money off of these tickets and then open up my Friday to make money doing comedy. But I said no. I'm gonna go live a life, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I am too. In fact, I encouraged you to do it.
Yeah, maybe like a week from now, I might not feel that way, but
I disagree.
Yeah, so It was great. So it was a lot of fun. Really eclectic group of people who went, so I dug it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
What was something that you thought about or
that I learned?
That you learned.
Shoot. Do you have something already?
I learned that I need to...
I know what I learned. Okay, go ahead.
I learned that I need to stretch religiously.
Every day.
Yeah. I mean, this will lead into my middle finger, I'm sure. But like, I don't know. I've been just like on such a weird up and down schedule.
Yeah.
And stuff. And like, I finally decided like, Mondays are the days I'm going to regroup and clean the house and get my stuff done or whatever, because we only get so much time together on the weekends. Mm-hmm. Usually, I don't know, I'm gone most of the weekends and stuff like that. So I've just been on a weird schedule, just with like, I had a bunch of auditions, I think, last week, and then like some callbacks, and then, just working in general. And so, I've neglected my health in that capacity, and it's caught up to me.
Yeah, so. I feel that as well. In fact, that's part of my middle finger. But if I can be a bit vulnerable on this podcast, something I've learned this week. We talked last week about how I popped off on one of our neighbors.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
And then
this.
we talked about it in therapy as well.
Yeah.
And our therapist basically ended up saying, shame on me, which verbatim what she said. which, what I have some thoughts on that. But just because I teach about Confucianism and I teach about how like virtue is like so important to the Chinese culture. And I felt like in that moment, it felt very Confucianist. But anyway, I digress.
I didn't feel confused about it whatsoever.
Oh, I'm sure. As you take
I forgot
pleasure.
I forgot all about it, honestly.
Well, I haven't because
Yeah,
it happened to me and I needed to think about it and I needed to debrief. And I guess what I've realized is that I don't I am very patient. I'm a very patient human being. I have to be, just by being a public school teacher, by being married to you, by having stray dogs.
Wait a minute. I understand the stray dog aspect.
I have to be a very patient person. And I've learned over the years how to kind of like put my own feelings aside. But what I'm realizing that has become a problem is that I don't know when I'm going to pop off. I don't know when that bottle is full and and the top pops off. So the other day I was like dealing with Billy, and it just like, she did one last thing and I just snapped. And I went for a walk with her afterwards and I just realized like, I don't know how I'm going to, I guess what I've learned this week is that I haven't learned when I'm at my zenith.
I think it's good to recognize that you're consciously aware of what's been transpiring. I think that's a good first step. I think that's what they say is acknowledgement, is admittance, and acknowledgement is the good first step. But, and also too, we talked about, that situation in therapy. I don't know if we've ever told people who actually listen to this that we do go to marriage counseling.
Yeah, but it's not even really
It's not marriage counseling. It's not like
it's
we're
just
like
counseling for the two of us at this point.
Yeah, it's really just about figuring out our stuff.
Our own individual stuff, but also how it relates to each other. Yeah.
But well, yeah, so I don't know that we ever gave context to people that we go through and do that sort of thing. And I think that it's good that, we've had these discussions with them so that we can, begin to process it, because, I'll be candid as well, since you're going to be vulnerable. I'll tit for tat you on that. So you're not alone in that. I used to process anger in a much different capacity than I do now.
Yeah.
And looking back on it and how I process anger and how it's been disastrous or ruinous or harmful to relationships that I've had before, not just with other, girlfriends or whatever, but I mean like people, family, friends, and stuff like that, and how that's been harmful to me and whatnot. So, yeah, so I commend you for that, for sure. And it's not, also, when we were talking about it though in therapy, real quick, I told you it wasn't that I disagreed with the sentiment of why you were upset.
Yeah,
that woman is a bitch. That woman who lives above us, not directly above us, but
6B,
six whatever floor you're on, whoever you are, we have no idea. But she is a bitch, and I agree with you that she shouldn't be looking down or talking down to us or acting in any different capacity. Like, she probably has a 1-bedroom. We own more shares than her.
Yeah.
So, but it is a situation where I agree with you in your sentiment, but like, how we handle these situations moving forward has to change.
Yeah, I think what was helpful. So first of all, Derek has done a lot of work over the last couple of years. You have, you really have improved as a human being all around. You were already a good dude. Now you're an even better dude. You're already a good husband. Now you're an even better husband. Thanks. And I think now it's my turn. It is my turn, right? Like, I always joke with him that like he had 90% of the change that needed to happen. I only had the 10. And now I think it's like, okay, it's time for me to really face that that hard 10. You know what I mean? It's like losing weight, right? Like I lost 90 pounds and now I have to lose that last 10. That's the hardest part. And so it was kind of eye-awakening to be like, oh yeah, I do have shit I need to work on. Even though I'm this patient, kind, understanding, empathetic person, I have all these assets and these pluses, there are these moments where I'm not proud of myself and I shouldn't be behaving that way, especially at my age. And the best point that I think you and Lena brought, sorry, can you cut that out? Okay. The best point that I think the two of you, just beep it out.
Yep, it's that
just
easy.
Beep it.
Keep going.
The best point was that, you know, I am a PhD candidate. I am a public school teacher at one of the most famous schools in the country. Like, if people see me popping off or if somebody videotapes me or whatever, it's not good for my career. And that was kind of, you know, you always say like, well, money is like your biggest incentive. Well, I guess in this case, like, I would be concerned for my own career as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to walk into an audition and see that woman staring back at me and being like, so you thought you were going to get the role for Fat Garbage Man number 1.
Yeah.
And then now we're going to go with somebody completely different because, yeah. So, well, good. I appreciate and respect that.
Yeah. That's the first time I'll be vulnerable today. There's going to be another time as well.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what about, well, let's do the middle finger then, since we said one begets the other.
I mean, the middle finger is, I thought we already talked about it. Just how much fucking work I have to do. Why do I have so much work?
Complaining does not look good on you.
I know. Well,
especially
whatever.
on a public-facing podcast. My middle finger, I mean, you do have a lot of work, and I do try to help out as much as I can, but you are sometimes too proud to accept it. Or, I mean, I also, my middle finger, I have two. One, I alluded to earlier, I am in pain today.
Yeah.
I cleaned up the house, and I didn't even I got maybe 50% of the work done that I really wanted to.
Yeah.
And we have 750 square feet.
Yes.
That we own, and it is impossible to keep it clean sometimes. And it's not even that it needs to be picturesque or picture perfect, but it's like things build up, and we took I guess I have 3 middle fingers. We took our air conditioning off. Or out of our windows. In New York City, everything's mainly like window units, unless it's like brand new construction, in which case you're probably mega rich. So, you take the AC units out, and then we have to store them, but I need to clean them before they can go in the storage. I have to rearrange the storage. The storage is in my apartment. We used to have an offsite storage thing, but then that got to be like,
super expensive,
thousands of dollars a year potentially. We just were not interested in paying that anymore, so we cleared space. Yada yada yada. All this dumb bullshit to say that like I was in pain and I did not get to do as much as I wanted to do because I didn't take care of my body.
I feel like you did a lot, but that is my middle finger, is that because I'm like doing so much work, I have not worked out in like 2 weeks. I really have just kind of taken that out of my brain of things I have to do. And on the one hand, it's been quite the relief. And on the other, there's this like little voice in the back of my head that's like, this is the opposite of what you need to be doing. You need to be working out. And that's part of like your mental health. It's part of your like growing old physical health. And so I guess one of my goals is to try and get back into that routine. I just need to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I feel like I'm just drowning right now. So, yeah.
My other middle finger, one of my other middle fingers is
to ConEd.
is to ConEd. If you live in the New York City metropolitan area, you probably know what I'm talking about, and that there's one source for electricity. I'm sure that's the way it works in most municipalities, is that there is one energy provider for your local place. But
that's capitalism, right, babe?
Over how and why we get our power. And our power went up significantly, our power usage over since we got back from South America.
Yeah.
And I had to call them and have a field technician come out and make sure that nobody was stealing our power, or that our building, which has been accused of doing duplicitous things, is siphoning our power for another reason.
Yeah.
Which, as it turns out, they weren't. And he showed me, the technician showed me with conclusive evidence that it is, in fact, our fault.
But the office knew we were having that guy come out, so they could have just turned the switch.
He showed me. I get it. I get it.
I'm just kidding.
It's a vast conspiracy.
Yes. Well, it's probably from these lights and cameras and microphones that we do this once a week.
There's 3 lights, and then the pod track is plugged in. The cameras run off of they're off their own battery.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway.
So, anywho.
So we're paying the bills.
We're paying the bills.
Fuck you, ConEd.
And my third middle finger.
God damn.
My third middle finger was I had an argument with a friend of mine this past week.
Oh, yeah, that was shitty.
And it was my fault. I'll admit it. But as a result of the argument, which was smoothed over, or at least, it's fine.
Yeah.
Was that I learned that I'm an elitist New Yorker. And I took that pretty personally.
That was what they said to you?
That's what they said to me, was that I am, since moving to New York, and I've lived in New York for 12 years. And wait, what year is it? 13 years. I moved here in 2012.
No, we've been, okay.
Yeah, I moved here in 2012. And
I just turned 13.
Yeah, I moved here in 2012. And the first 12 of those years, I was just working and working 2 jobs, like working a job and comedy.
Yeah.
I don't think that I never thought I sounded elitist, but this is also to somebody who lives in Toledo. But I guess, I don't know.
Even that sounded elitist.
Well, no, because they told me that they also said that they experience it from other New Yorkers, other people who live in New York.
Meaning probably me.
No, they have other friends who live here, and I guess are, and I would say that it's maybe I'd say that there's probably some grain of truth to that, but also this person's arrogant in their own ways.
Sure.
And I think everybody is.
Yeah.
And that just because I was exposed to certain cultural phenomenon or certain aspects of, I don't know, pop culture or underground culture or news or whatever the case may be, before it kind of hits the Midwest, I could see where I probably sound like that type of person. Even though I have admitted to, I slept on an air mattress for the first, I don't know, year. I think I lived here.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
I would wake up and the air mattress would be deflated. It was a real sexy time.
It would deflate at really inopportune times as well. So,
that wasn't the only thing deflating. Just kidding.
No, I've earned that one.
Anyways.
So I learned that I'm an elitist New Yorker, which I take that pretty personal, because I feel like this is the inherent contradiction that exists within my life, is that, when I go to, I feel like I'm a fairly reasonable person, both politically and culturally. And so when I go to Toledo, I probably sound what they would call a liberal twink, or something like that, or a liberal fag or something like that. Is like, that's the type of language that's, which, hey, I've called people that, so I get it. But then in Brooklyn, even though I'm a reasonable person who's very nice and like extends myself outwards to people, even if they live lives I don't necessarily agree with, I'm pretty genuine and nice to everybody.
Yeah.
And they would still, even because of some of my opinions, would probably call me a fascist far right person. Yeah. And it's
you
just
also look like that too.
You're not supposed to judge people based upon their looks.
Thank you.
It's not like I'm wearing like an SS band or anything like that around my arm.
Might as well be.
No, there's no might as well be. We can't just sit there and say people like. Yeah, my buddy sent me a link of a girl doing really bad comedy about how she thinks that just because she's blonde haired and blue eyed that she's like, oh, everybody must think I'm a Nazi because I'm blonde haired and blue eyed. And it's like, I haven't thought anybody looks like that. I don't know. I don't stereotype people like that. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I think that's kind of crappy to stereotype anybody based upon how they look.
You can't help it. That's what our brains are designed to do.
Right. But when you do that though, when you stereotype a person and it's not in a favorable way, no matter how it is that they look like or whatever, it's like it's always predicated upon like, you know, you've even commented on before, you see like these ugly girls around Brooklyn with these bowl haircuts and like they purposefully look like shit, you know, and even you've been like, ugh, you know, and it's like, well, this person, I'm going to make certain assumptions about them, about why they look the way they look or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, fine, but I'd like to give them the opportunity to prove me wrong.
Sure.
And I think that, you know, but I guess that's not even really the point. The point is really kind of like having like reasonable opinions in today's world when you have such extremism makes you seem can make you look like an extremist to the other person, to the extreme. So
okay, maybe.
No, I'm telling you, okay.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Finish your thought.
If you go and you tell people like, hey, people should be like, taxes are a necessary evil and they should be spent on, you know, bridges, buildings, infrastructure, things like that, they're like, wow, you're an insane communist or something like that. And then if you tell people, you know, conversely, that they should have the freedom of choice over or freedom of speech or things of that nature, you know, hearkening back to recent events over the last few weeks, like Charlie Kirk and whatnot, like, hey, that guy, even if you disagree with him, should be able to say, just ignore him if you don't like what he has to say, sort of stuff. But people don't agree with that. They want to shoot people over that nowadays. So when you get to, like, even though I don't say what Charlie Kirk has to say, it's like, I don't know, I could say something that shades conservative and they'd be like, people, extreme wackadoos over in Brooklyn would be like, you should die for having that opinion. I mean, like, that's just like that's the impression that I get from the way that people talk, especially online.
Yeah.
I take it you don't agree.
I don't want to get into it. Not today.
Anyways, just say your
but
opinion.
Also, well, I'm like miffed by when you said like you were talking to people whose lives you don't necessarily agree with. Why? Like, there's some like hardcore ultra nationalistic Christians that I don't agree with how they live their life, but I still am just like, live your life. Let's go.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying like that's exactly what I'm saying is that I don't agree with ultra orthodox nationalist Christians. You can't be a Christian and a nationalist. That's a person who's living the wrong way. You're either one or the other. If you're a Christian,
you're living for God, and if you're a nationalist, you're living for the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is. You can't be a Christian nationalist.
But when they use that term, what they're saying is
I know what you're saying. I'm sorry. I know what you're saying in that regard.
Sure.
And I know who you mean by that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yes, and there are also the converse opposite of that who I don't necessarily agree with what they do, but it's not my choice.
Godless people like myself.
No, you're not. You're really just. It's your mission today
No, this is just who I am. So this is who you married.
I'm regretting it. You're not godless. You're just wrong. Anyways. I'm not even saying like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, I don't. You've mentioned before. I don't. I don't think that you're godless in the sense of like a hardcore atheist. Like I think it's more of an agnostic thing than it is like.
Yeah, but I tend to believe that there's not really a God. I tend to believe that it is.
So if you could,
but
so
does that mean that I'm immoral? No, I have morals. I have a set of ethics that I live by.
So you don't think that so there's the God as the kind of, I guess, lack of a better term, Christian person who thinks that it's like Santa Claus. Like an old
heaven, hell,
like an old white guy looking over you in the
sure.
In the
Why do you have to be white? But yes,
because I'm using that as an example, as a very base example.
I mean, Jesus was Jewish.
Sure.
From Israel.
Sure.
Palestine.
And oh my God,
I'm
know what?
Saying.
We're gonna end the episode. Because you just say things to be inflammatory.
No, you just can't handle it.
No, I just don't like what you have to say.
Right. I don't like what you have to say.
Anyways, but what I'm saying is like, I don't believe in that sort of like Santa Claus version of like this oversimplistic thing. But to suggest that there isn't some sense of force or like some, kind of omnipotent sort of thing that exists beyond what we're capable of understanding. Mm-hmm. I think that's a little short-sighted to think that it's
I
just
think there is. It's just science.
Sure.
It's like gravity and...
You don't even know how science
Big Bang
works.
Theory.
You don't even know how helicopters work.
And what? Okay.
All
right.
Anyways, so... All right, moving on. You elitist. Now I know why people think I'm elitist, because it's you.
I have so much control over you. I didn't realize.
No, it's guilt by association.
Birds of a feather?
No.
Then people must think I'm hyper nationalist as well.
Nobody thinks that about me, and I never say that whatsoever.
I said you look like it.
Doesn't matter if I look like it. It's about what I talk about. You look like a run-of-the-mill Midwestern or Upper Mainer mom or something like that.
Do I?
Yes, on first sight for sure. Absolutely. So, but it's all about the content of your character or lack thereof.
Right.
Anyways, what's something small but significant that happened to you this week?
Are we doing this last?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You like doing that one last.
Okay.
But
I like mixing it up, but yeah.
Okay. I have a physical evidence of you saying I'd like to finish with this one last.
No, I think that was you, but yes, I agree.
It was you.
Okay. Okay.
God.
This is why we need therapy, folks. This is why.
Yeah, because my wife is not listening.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's all my fault. Small but significant. I taught at a public school about 10 years ago. And when I left, things ended badly. And I mean, I wouldn't say badly, but I just didn't leave on the best terms. I just was like, I left last minute, just went and picked up all my stuff, didn't really say goodbye. I was pretty mad at the institution that I had worked for almost a decade. And they are coming up on 20 years. They're doing a 20-year reunion to surprise the principal of that school. And they reached out and texted me and invited me. And even though they could have just pretended to forget about me or whatever, or just pretended to like forget the invitation in the mail, but it felt good to be included. And I'm going to, I'm going to write a letter to this principal and tell him how much he meant to me and how much I learned from him.
That's another educational person getting a letter that I didn't write.
Yes.
That's very sweet. I did read the text. It was very nice. They could have definitely told you to shove off or not included you whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very nice. And you did contribute quite a bit to that school in particular.
I think so.
I feel like I ruined your life around that time where you used to be able to walk from your apartment to your job.
Yeah.
And I don't know, though you never left that area really. I don't think. Like, whatever. Anyways, you used to live in Bed-Stuy.
I loved it.
You used to be able to walk over to your apartment. That's when Brooklyn was cool. Now Brooklyn, I don't think Brooklyn's cool anymore. I think it's played out. Queens is the new borough. But
which we went to our Taste of Sunnyside yesterday, and that was really cool to see, like all the different restaurants and things in our neighborhood, things that are like popping up, and it was fun.
That was cute. My small but significant.
Is it?
Yeah, because I don't normally like Indian food, and that it's not that I dislike it; it's just not my favorite. Out of all the different cuisines, and that was the best out of all the things we tasted yesterday.
Yeah, they like popped off at Cardamom. Shout out to Cardamom.
Yeah, hopefully you get a huge rise in numbers after this one. But yeah, so
advertise with us.
Yeah. No, that was really cool. That was it was a nice day.
It was raining.
It was raining, but
we still made the most of it.
It was nice to go hang out with you and not have to sit inside of here.
Yeah, that's true.
We got to exercise, and we got to see all the different restaurants in our neighborhood. We have a ton of restaurants in our neighborhood.
So many.
We have a lot, and then some of them were serving food that we've already had.
Yeah.
And then some of it was like food that like we're familiar with in some capacity or another. Like, I don't need to have another different kind of burrito.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've got enough of those as it is. But yeah, the Indian place was really great, and I'm gonna try that again or have something akin to that again soon. So
I'm just excited about all the bakeries that are popping up. That ice cream place is bomb. That's really good.
I'm not excited about the bakeries because I can't have as much bread.
That's true.
That's the one thing that I can't have bread and cheese that often, even though
or corn. Gosh, all the allergies.
I have a trick I do. It's not a trick, but if anybody ever asks me if I want something that has corn in it, I tell them I'm allergic because I don't like the taste of corn. Even though I like corn on the cob.
I love corn.
So
you do like the taste of corn.
I like corn on the cob. I like popcorn. But I don't like creamed corn, and I don't like individual kernels of corn.
You like tortillas.
Sure.
You like tortilla chips.
Yes, but I don't like corn. I don't like corn when it's off the cob. I don't know what it is, unless it's in popped form. I don't know why. I just don't like it.
It just
like
sucks because I want to make stuff with corn in it, and then I'm like, oh, Derek's going to want to eat this. So I like avoid putting corn in something.
You can put corn in it.
Would you eat it?
No.
Right.
So it's just, but it is what it is. Like, I just can't eat your food.
Okay.
I have to live with that I'm not willing to be flexible. Just is sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, okay. So what's a promise that I will say that I have been still pretty consistent in the promises. Well, no, I take that back. I've been working out, but I haven't been like really crushing it. And but I have been doing Duolingo. I have been listening to new music.
Nice. What about headphones in the hallway?
And for the most part, I'm good on that. In fact, my headphones are dying. They're cheap or whatever, and I don't think I'm going to replace them.
Interesting.
I think I'm going to go without headphones for a while.
Wow.
And just raw dog the subway. I do kind of anyways. There are some days I don't wear the I don't know. I need to start reading more. So, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So, and I've been patient with Billy. That was another one of my promises.
Yeah.
Probably maybe sometimes the most patient.
Well, you don't have to do it as often as I do.
Every day. Although today we went on a walk and I forgot to bring her treats.
I saw that.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
There weren't very many dogs out.
That's
so it was
good because it's raining. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
Also, do you go for shortened walks with her? I feel like. Okay, you let her just go wherever?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We were gone for an hour today.
It felt like it was half an hour.
No.
Okay.
We left right after you did.
That's great.
And then we got back. Maybe it was 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. But it's raining out. There's not as much going on.
That's true.
So.
But I guess I've already said my promise to myself is that like I am not making enough time for me. Like I made you go get that library pass so that we could use the culture pass, which is like a thing in New York City where they like give you free tickets like once a year to all these things. And I was thinking like this weekend, surely we could do that. And then time got away from me. And then next weekend, hopefully we can go for a hike and maybe we can do like one of the culture pass things. And, so the promise to myself is to like really start doing stuff for me, like working out for my mental health and my physical health, making sure that we have some semblance of a life. I just get so anxious about leaving her, but I think we need to like rip that Band-Aid off,
It's true. Yeah. We are. I'm really reluctant to leave her alone for any period of time because, we have in building laundry here and I will take the laundry downstairs and be gone for maybe like 15 minutes, and I come back and you would think that I was gone for weeks. Yeah. The way that she reacts to me because she's just so happy, which makes me happy because I like being, there for her and her kind of comfort person, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. And taking care of her and stuff like that, but she's got to be able to exist on her own without us around. Yeah. In order for us to be able to live our lives.
Exactly. Especially if we're going to be able to travel in the summer and do all of that. So.
Oh my God. Yeah. Jeez Louise. I'm just anxious about that.
It's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen.
Well, it's not so much about her. It's more about me.
Okay.
Like I don't know. I guess the promise I can make, is there are several promises I can make. To be patient. Mm-hmm. I guess.
Positive.
I'm really bad about being positive.
I know.
So, anyways, I've been plenty vulnerable about things. So
yeah, I can have trouble being positive as well, babe.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. But I will do my best to honor the promise of trying to be more positive about things.
I appreciate that.
There are sometimes I'm very positive or I try to look at the bright thing. But then sometimes I wonder, am I just being positive because I just want to shuffle this under the rug or I want to move on from whatever it is that's happening? You know what I mean? And I don't want to dwell on stuff as much anymore. So.
Okay.
And I promise to listen to you more without quit making that face. Without reacting as if it's a personal attack.
Great.
Well, sometimes it seems like that.
But you also know when I'm personally attacking you.
I just err on the side of it's a personal attack.
I know. But then when it actually is a personal attack, because I make it very clear. I do. That's one of my bad habits.
It's true. That's true. Yeah. You treat me like one of our neighbors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fuck you, 6B. I'm just kidding. I don't know where she lives.
Well, yeah.
I hope 6B is like... I hope they're not somebody sweet.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right.
Thanks for taking time.
You're welcome.
This might be the worst episode we've ever done.
I think so. Nobody's watching, so it doesn't matter.
But you have to have a catalog of things built up for when they go back and look through at them.
There you go. So someday this episode will come out as a meme.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Thanks, everyone.
I've got to take you.
See you next week.
I've got to take you to the grocery store.
Are we doing that right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.